Good afternoon. Thank you, Phil. As he introduced, I'm in charge of Fujitsu's cloud strategy worldwide. Back in 5 years ago, or six years ago, actually, I was in charge of Fujitsu's server strategy. And at that time, I was asking our customers, what should our servers look like? You know, how can we serve you as a server company? And I have visited many customers in Japan, many customers here in Europe and USA. And what turned out was that customers don't need to have servers on premises. They said they want to do business. They don't want to do maintenance of servers. They don't want to do a patching of Windows or Linux, nor middleware applications. So I came back to Japan and also our colleagues of Germany, where we have a headquarters for server business, and concluded that maybe we should deliver our CPU capacity, networking capabilities, and software capabilities out of data center. So that was the initial concept, and we developed a so-called service-oriented platform. Now it is the S5 globally deployed across 6 regions. Today, what I'd like to discuss with you, and maybe have 20 minutes of your time, to talk about how we view the cloud. We don't see the cloud is just another form of delivery models. We think it's a platform for business, the platform that changes the way we form, the way we compose our business. So, oops. Now the technology is, should I? Okay, thank you. So Fujitsu, before we get into that, let me introduce Fujitsu a little bit. It's about $40 billion company, and we have about 170,000 employees worldwide. And as Phil pointed out, Fujitsu is very much a European-led company. Even if our biggest market is in Japan, it's about 60% of our business comes from Japan, but very much led by European colleagues. For example, as I mentioned, server headquarters is in Germany, and our services like global delivery services, help desk services, those are headquartered in UK and Brussels. And our cloud integration capability, which I'm going to talk about today, is headquartered in Paris, France. So it's very much a European-centric company. Now, when you look at the history of IT, I'm quite sure you are very familiar with these trends, mainframe and client server. And we see that the next generation is going to be so-called digital supply chain. In the era of mainframe, customers, because it's very expensive, tend to develop their application tailor-made, bespoke applications. In the client-server era, customers start to use packages, so they and also use the standardized operating systems like Unix or Windows or Linux. And so they could reduce the cost dramatically, but at the same time, they have to live with the less flexibility with the packages. In the next generation, we believe that the world is going to be much more dynamic and are going to be integrated even across industries. That's how I view, and cloud is going to enable that direction. For example, this is the image of integrated industry or value chain, digital value chain. technology allows us to develop such a value chain, and the output of those value chains, like people talk about smart something, smart transport, and smart city, and smart health. If you look at the smart or intelligence, you are not thinking of a conventional industry segment. You cannot really achieve, for example, smart health just looking at the traditional segment. You have to look at the other segments, such as sports, for example, agriculture or food, and unless you integrate all of those different segments of services, you cannot really achieve real smart. And that's how we are going to achieve. That's the vision we like to put ourselves into the next generation. Having said that, however, we see that there are many layers of delivery models. We think that the specialization occur at multiple layers of different consumption models. One might consume just infrastructure as a service to optimize their operation at the lower layer. Some people may use so-called SaaS, software as a service, to consume business applications. Some may consume business processes, and some may consume business itself. So we think these different multi-layers of consumption models, general steps at the same time, we think is going to coexist. So we will discuss each individual delivery model as specific Fujitsu's delivery offerings later. Now, when we talk about these trend, the digital supply chain, maybe people agree that this is the way people are going to move, but the difficulty is that resistance. You know, every time we move to the new world, there are resistances. So how can we cope with the resistance? The resistance is that the people want to stick to the existing model, not to exchange, not to rely on somebody else for your business. And the way we achieve the overcome the resistance is not to try to persuade people who are resisting. As you know that if you push too much for the people who are resisting, they become more stubborn and more difficult to move. So instead of trying to persuade people who are resisting to change, we would like to introduce the better solution so that they have to just let it accept. The vision we have is human-centric and intelligent society. So it's like a people-centric model. We always think the IT should evolve according to the people. And like IBM talking about smarter planet, we also think that the society is going to be more intelligent. So intelligent society. Those are the specific Fujitsu's direction. And by pushing those, we think we would go into the world of composition, where we can compose businesses using different services across industries. So at Fujitsu, we develop all of our technologies aiming at this model, human-centric and intelligent society. For example, we develop wearable solutions like Google or Apple. We also develop some glasses, and we also develop augmented reality. We also develop big data solution paths, and all of those technologies we develop are aiming at this trend, the human-centric intelligent society model. By having this concept, and achieving this goal, we believe that people have to move to the composition of the different services coming from different segments. Because, like I said, if you think of people as a center, or if you think of a smart something as a center, you cannot just live by yourself. You have to combine with the different segments. We are talking to one of our biggest automobile companies worldwide, start with T, and their vision is very similar to ours. And when you grab steering wheel, you get the pulse information, you get heartbeats, you get the blood pressure information, and those information are very good information or data for insurance company. And they can monitor the way they drive and compare those pulse information. You can see he is a risky driver or safe driver. So that changes the insurance model. And that same information or similar information can be used for your own healthcare purposes. And that business cannot achieved by company T only. You have to combine with the many different segments, and you have to provide the solutions, cohesive solutions, targeting for people, targeting for better, smarter transportation system. So our vision is that by achieving this human-centric, we would go into this composition model. Now I discussed that this specialization occurs at the multiple layers. Infrastructure layer, cloud and SaaS layer, and cloud integration layer. And we have delivered these specific services today. So let me introduce briefly what are those. First, infrastructure as a service. This is the one I was talking about at the beginning, when I was in charge of server business. This is the one I developed 5 years ago, and now deployed 6 different regions. And it's centrally governed, centrally operated, but actual data centers are in 6 regions. Because some customers want to keep data in your region. So here in Europe, we have one in Germany, one in UK. The next is the SaaS enablement software or as a service. There are many packages, there are many existing solutions. You want to make those solutions readily available as a service. So we developed this solution and enabled our customers and partners to realize the software as a service so that they can be a part of the composition world. And also after you develop these packages as a service, you can publish it as from the marketplace. And this software piece also provides you the capability of publishing such a service from the marketplace. And by the way, this is also designed and delivered by our colleagues in Germany. The last but not least, the cloud integration. This is the core of the composition, the core of the business composition. This path is especially designed so that you have processes to be integrated, you can do it very quickly in a very agile fashion. We noticed that the integration happens very quickly, and you have to quickly resolve it on fly. So this path is designed to achieve that. And this is a solution called Run My Process, and it's headquartered in Paris, France. I believe we have some follow-up presentation this tomorrow, and if you have a chance to visit our booth, which is just next to this room, please stop by and ask questions, and so that we can discuss more about these offerings. So finally, as I said, our concept is the human-centric and intelligent society. Toward that, we think the cloud is not just a delivery form, but it's a business platform, and it is the way to compose next generation business. We make many different offerings, from private to public, and total business size is now $1.8 billion. And so with this, I hope I could share some of our view and initiatives of Fujitsu, so that we can together develop next generation business with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. We have time for one or two quick questions if anyone has any questions they want to pose. I should mention that Run My Process, which Mr. Sagawa mentioned, is now a core part of Fujitsu's cloud strategy, is a former winner of the Eurocloud Europe Best Offering Award, and is a sign of the good fortune that awaits tonight's award winners, perhaps. Any questions to follow up on this presentation? One of the things that you talked about a lot was composition of business processes from different providers. And this is something that depends a lot on getting the integration right. So is this a difficult path to make happen? Is this something which is going to take a long time until businesses get used to the idea?
Well, some aggressive customers have actually already deployed those solutions combining different services. The challenge is for a big enterprise customer. This is the case for a small and medium organization, because they are not talking about big enterprise customers ask, we need to get entire SLA guaranteed. But if you are talking about different services coming from different vendors, you need to aggregate. You need to aggregate those SLAs and provide a cohesive SLA. That is not only technology challenge, but it's a business model challenge. Maybe people talk about brokerage, and maybe that is one way, but I think looking at the small and medium organization, they can really do business even if there is no guaranteed SLA. So I think just like internet, people are living with the best effort basis. Gradually, I think that the easiness or the cost will supersede the anxiety of having virtual SLA.
Right, yes, and of course this